What the business is, YouTube? You know what? I got to go back. It's your boy Pursuit of Freedom over here, Clarence over here at Pursuit of Freedom, and I want to bring to you a slightly different video. You know what I mean? Not necessarily completely moving off topic from the stock market and charts and patterns, but I want to give another piece of the vision when it comes to the pursuit of freedom, man. Um, Pursuit of freedom for me is a lot more than just me buying back my time. That's the other way I like to say it, but that's what pursuit of freedom is to me. It's a time buyback, which is my Instagram channel, by the way, on my Instagram page. Time project, time buyback. Now, if you don't know, if you don't believe it, to me, freedom these days comes by way of finance. And right now, I got you looking at a book. This book is How to Make Money in Stocks. I got to get on topic because I can get off topic and be yapping for a long time. And I want to edify the first person that I started studying underneath a tad bit. But first, I got to point out this book. Uh, really, I want to point out the person who gave me this book. This is How to Make Money in Stocks by William J. O'Neill. He was the founder of Investor Business Daily. Now, my stock market investing journey really started in 2003, 2004. You know, I sat in a financial class for a quick second where I learned the extreme basic salary, not salary, but strategy that any person who wants to get involved in the market can do. And that strategy was buy where you already buy, or spend your money where you already spend your money, except for spending it in the market. Meaning that, like, if you do a lot of shopping at Walmart, buy Walmart. If you got Jordans on your feet, buy Nike. Um, and I'm telling you, this is where I was putting my money. That's two of several companies that I was originally buying. I ate crappy McDonald's, so I bought McDonald's. Um, Even though I don't have any kids, Johnson and Johnson was a company that I bought because babies was born all the time. Just I found the reason to believe in the company, and I put money there in the um, with the thought process of putting money to work instead of just working for money, right? And this was in '03, '04. I was still a teenager at that time, like 19, 20 is when I began, you know. And this book though was given to me by my mother, and I got to put her out there. If I'm going to edify anybody, I got to edify mom the most, man, because mom got the journey, the transfer from just investing to me learning how to trade stocks, which there's a monstrous difference between investing and trading. Monstrous difference. Either way it goes, though, and to point out something that Dr. Eric Thomas over at ET the Hip Hop Preacher, being that I'm edifying, people that I study and I've learned from. One thing that he liked to say is that if it was easy, everybody could do it. Now, just investing, that's easy. That's what everybody can do. I'm saying that to say just investing is not going to get you rich. Not anytime soon, at least. If God blesses any of us with the time and you invest for an entire lifetime, you can wake up at 60, 70 if you start investing in like your 20s and 30s, depending on how much money you have to invest. And if you do that for a lifetime, you can wake up at 70 with a humongous pile of money, especially if you put it to work for you in the right investments, right? But anyway, back to, my mama knew that I was interested in stocks. So about 5 years ago, she gave me this here book, and she don't know that she started me on a journey. You know what I'm saying? That changed my life, and hopefully, God blessed me with the time to change her life, because she don't know that she a big part of this pursuit of freedom. You know what I'm saying? There is an even bigger part of this pursuit of freedom picture, a vision that I have in my mind that stems so much further than just me, my lady, my mom, and various family members I want to give back to. I'm talking about because being that I consider the market the money tree. I mean, you can reach into the market over time and pull out enough money to rebuild homes. You know what I'm saying? To rebuild communities. To like Tim Sykes do, building schools. You know what I'm saying? That's just a further piece of the vision. But I want to go ahead on and have my mama call up her boss one day and tell him that he's fired. Because I got you. I ain't gonna be able to do that with my day job though. But to edify Tim Sykes, because after reading this book, you know what I'm saying, she gave it to me while I was in my associate's degree program, probably towards the beginnings of it. She knew I was interested in stocks, and she gave me the book. I read the book after I had graduated because during that time you studying, you know what I mean, what your program of study is. Because I didn't want to try to be battling both, and I didn't have no money to even think about investing in stocks in that time. 2007 had emptied me out for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and being that I didn't have a job during that time, it made things a little hard. So I got to edify mom, and Tim Sykes was the first cat I found, and I'm glad that I found this picture though. I want to scroll down here, back down here to it. I get back to the top and talk on what I want to talk about in a second. Where's she at? Where's she at? There she is. There's mom, man. Like I said, man, mom is a big part of the picture, man. You can put a pile of money like this in front of mom. Mom can call up the boss man and be like, I have a new boss. I look at her in the mirror every day. Because all my mama do is work hard, grind hard, huh? Like good mothers do, man. And I want to be able to bless her and give her time back as well. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to free her from having to work so hard still. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad Tim Sykes got this picture in here because I mean, he don't even know it. For a lot of us out here that's trying to learn how to do this thing and get good at it, that's a big part of my pursuit of freedom right now. Telling mom she can call her boss and tell him that he's fired. He ain't doing a good enough job. All right, let's get back to the top. Cause I want to talk forever. But this is Tim Sykes. This is his Instagram. Uh, he got a little short, little introduction. He turned $12,000 into 5 million while traveling the world. That's some of the freedoms that trading stocks versus just investing in them, just buying them over the course of decades. If you trade stocks and learn to trade stocks, you know, this is what really sold me. Because when I graduated high school, I can honestly say there was no job that I felt like I wanted to give my entire life to. Not one job. Only thing that I was remotely interested in was like auto mechanic, being that and I think I wasn't even really interested in that. It was the fact that I wanted a car. I wanted the freedom of having a car, keyword freedom. You know what I'm saying? As a high school graduate, you want to ride and get around and go do what you want to do. And that's more so what I seen in cars, uh another thought, of course I played sports, so I wanted to be a famous whatever player, or like a PE coach, a football coach, basketball coach, those type thoughts right there. But my belief is that depending on what you do for a living, you can quickly run into a conflict of interest if your job doesn't supply you with some of the other things that you want to do in life. Like, what if you wanted to go on a 6 month vacation, but you got a job? That job absolutely owns your time. So I don't know a job, period, that's going to give you 6 months off so you can go do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Is that type of ownership of one's life that my mind is wrapped around. You know what I'm saying? So for me, finding Tim Sykes, and this is just one of many, like Dr. Eric Thomas said in the video, man, a multitude of counsel. there's victory. All right, so I'm right at 10 minutes. It's going to be a slightly longer video, but I'm going to say that again, man. In multitude of counsel, there's victory. So here's Tim Sykes, just to show you where the Google search or the search began. All I did is type in the man's name. Um, there's his website, Twitter feed, YouTube channel, Profitly, which is the website he created. I'm going to talk on that in a quick second. Tim Sykes is known for being a penny stock trader who earned 1.6 million while attending college at Tulane University. So, as you know, this more than likely led to him being a college dropout because when you make 1.6 million trading stocks, I'm pretty sure whatever he was studying, he wasn't gonna make 1.6 million, right? Like many of these traders, the ones that become good, because you got to remember, 9 out of 10 people can't do this. But everybody can just invest in what you already know or what you already spend your money on. So I'm telling you to get involved no matter which way you decide that you can get involved. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be able to trade stocks. Hell, especially if you work 7 to 3, 8 to 4, or 9 to 5. You ain't going to be able to look at no stocks during the day, right? So that's the Tim Sykes on here. One thing I got to highlight, man, is that uh, the man sells the dream well. But the point is that if you learn how to trade stocks, this is one of the most remote businesses that you can run, one of the most remote jobs that you can have, meaning that you can literally do it from anywhere. And I love the fact that the man done been to 100 countries. He don't need my edification at all. He's already a millionaire, but I've learned a lot from him. So this is kind of sort of me giving thanks. This is the 31st, which is New Year's Eve, Monday. So I'm ending the year by talking about my beginning to this education and giving some thanks where they do, starting with my mom, right? But Tim Sykes always got these pictures of the travels with the laptop. That's the part I want to point out. Being that all it takes is trading skill, some knowledge, right? Of course, you need some capital. The more the better, the more the merrier, and a Wi-Fi connection and a computer. You know what I'm saying? So you got those 4 things right there. You can make money from anywhere in the world trading stocks. He loved putting these pictures out here on these exotic, beautiful places that a lot of people don't get to see on the helicopter with the laptop in hand. Sitting out here, I don't know where this at. You see the laptop, wherever that is, with the laptop. Feeding the giraffes with the laptop. African safari, there is the laptop. You know what I'm saying? Wherever this is, you know what I'm talking about. 2 laptops though. Poolside with the laptop, in the water, wherever this beautiful spot is, with the laptop. That right there is when you are truthfully free. That's freedom right there. See, I got to do one on Dave Ramsey because Dave Ramsey trying to help people get from underneath the burden of debt. The borrower is slave to the lender, he likes to point out. You know what I mean? If you got debt in any sort, you got to be generating income for that. And it ain't this kind of income here. I also want to point out, like what I mentioned earlier, giving back. The secret to living is giving. But in all honesty, man, it's hard to give when you ain't got much to give, right? So the man is also building schools. I mentioned that, another part of this vision is, what I'm saying, giving back, helping rebuild homes, communities. That's rebuilding lives right there. You heard, man? Pursuit of freedom. But for the most part, I want to own my time and not have it owned by whatever time clock you punch. I don't know what time clock you punching, but this man here he's owned by wherever destination he want to place himself because he can make the money. Or anybody that becomes skilled at this can make the money while you're on vacation. You can pay for the vacation while you're on the vacation. That's freedom right there. So I'm gonna go over here to his Profitly site. This was a site that he created because, well, from what he explained is the fact that he he got a lot of kickback in his beginnings, being that nobody believed that he was real. Nobody believed that he was trading these penny stocks. That's a that's a stock or a company listed on whatever exchange for 500 pennies or less. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have noticed him play or trade stocks at a higher price than that, but for the most part, lower price companies. And he's a predominant short seller, meaning he bets against the stocks, especially being that penny stocks are crappy companies. You know what it's saying? And I got to point out the fact that I told a family member of mine, man, that I was interested in trading stocks. He pointed me out to this here Wolf of Wall Street. That's Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, right? But what Tim Sykes is doing and what Jordan Belfort had did, are completely different things. This cat here was making cold calls, talking money out of people's pockets with a tell with over the course of the over the telephone, being that I can't speak, and they was putting money in his hands themselves. I don't give a who called me. I ain't finna put no money in your hands because you made a call and you said that such and such company was a good company. You know what I'm saying? But Tim Sykes ain't that dude. You know what I'm saying? He is making a good amount of money from teaching, but I have no problem with that because he's teaching people how to become millionaires. You name the college program or the degree that'll teach you how to be a millionaire. Name that degree, right? So this is properly the site he created to show that what he was doing was real. And on this site, he posts every trade, which I can honestly tell you, this is his average gain, $1,861. That has been coming down over the last few years because he is doing more teaching than trading. He always trades with a small account too, which I think is beautiful because he's showing people who ain't got a ton of money how to get to it with a small account because it becomes easier when you got skill and you got money. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but look at that though. That's the average gain. The average gain of $1,861. Now this guy is a day trader. So that could be to the tune of $1,861 a day. Now that right there sounds like uh I'm trying to think of a degree, right, to fit that salary. I can think of two, doctors and lawyers, but that's 7 years of school, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to learn how to be a doctor or a lawyer. Vice versa, you can own your own time, travel the world, and make that money. I'm going to show you can make so much more in a second, right? Uh, but yeah, so that's his average, which has been coming down. This is what he's made from trading stocks. He probably makes more money from teaching, but like I said, I don't mind that. Some people hate on him because he's making money from teaching people, but I can't hate on him. I just can't afford. I can't afford to purchase all his money. I mean, all of his stock knowledge, all of these videos he got over here. I paid for just one, How to Make Millions. I would love to be able to watch the rest of this stuff, but I get most of my knowledge from YouTube. This is this YouTube channel. How long have I been yapping? Too long. All right, I want to keep this here at 20 minutes. But the first thing I wanted to do, being that when I clicked on this, I seen this guy here. This is a fella named Steven Dux. He was a Tim Sykes Trading Challenge student. He was a student of Tim Sykes who at 22 years old made $900,000 in profits. That's in 1 year. Now, I don't know the doctor or lawyer that makes $900,000 a year. That right there is probably close to the salary of two, if not three doctors and lawyers in a year as a 22-year-old person, right? Now, I will point out that this young man is a genius, a double major at MIT. I know one of his majors is like engineering. I don't know what his other major was, but the cat is extremely smart. He's extremely diligent, though. He digs extremely deep. And why I'm pointing him out is because he's next up for me to study and learn from. This is also why I'm pointing him out. 6 days ago, how I made over 64K last week in one trade. Well, that about make you sick, don't it? That right there about make you sick, don't it? Of course, he's like Tim Sykes, a predominant short seller, but the man made $64,000 in one trade. That can be one day, just 6 days ago. Now, if I clicked on this channel, see, look at this out. I mean, 143,000 in profit. That might be in just a few days. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna go through because, like I said, Tim Sykes got multiple students that's doing this to the tune of these type numbers in a day. It ain't a whole lot, but at least a handful of students have gotten to the skill level where they reaching into the market and they pulling out yearly salaries in a day. Man, I can do a lot of giving back if I can pull out a yearly salary. That's more than what I make in a year, and that's if I work all kinds of overtime. If I probably give myself one day off a week, I ain't gonna make this up. Not what I'm being paid. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make that day in a year. This is one trade. Just trying to show you the possibilities and give some credit where it's due, man. To show you, just show you what you can do. You can be truly free. That's all of somebody's debt right there. In one day, pay off all your debt. Debt gone. Make another one of those trades. Why work all year? Uh, but this is, you know what I'm saying? My mom put the book in my hands. I'm so thankful that she did that. I hope to be able to give back and build schools and rebuild communities, build homes, build lives. See this one world, as much of it as I can. Shoot, take as many people as I can with me. Teach people how to do this for themselves, man. We all got a pursuit of freedom in us to some degree. So this is pursuit of freedom.